Hi, my name is Sean O'Byrne, and my wife Vera and I have had the privilege of serving the Lord for 25 years. In the last 4 years, we've been living and working in Belize, and it's an honor to be able to share with you a little report on what God is doing in this part of the world. Maybe you've never been to Belize. It's only about a 4.5-hour flight from Toronto, for example. Belize is a small country, both in area and population. Its mainland is only about 290 kilometers long and 110 kilometers wide. The population is not even 500,000, with just over 400,000. People said there's 2 seasons, hot and hotter. But it's also warm in that the people are very, very friendly, and it's a very, very open place, and we have been treated to such wonderful kindness there by everybody. English is the official language, but Belizeans also speak Creole, and many speak Spanish. Predominantly Catholic historically, Belize has seen a surge in Protestant churches in recent decades. Other religions and most cults are also present and very active. Today there are 8 assemblies in Belize, including the recently planted Western Paradise Bible Chapel. There are 3 in the south, one of which is Spanish-speaking, 3 in Belize City, and 2 others in nearby villages. Although some of the meetings are really struggling, there is a very real assembly-wide unity of cooperation. Highlights each year are the children and youth camps, the ladies' retreat, and Easter conference. We were handing out tracts one day, and this bus just stopped right in the middle of traffic, and all the windows came down, and people put out their arms, and that bus wouldn't leave until everybody, even the driver, had one of the tracts. So it was just tremendous openness to the Word, and it was during that time that God really planted a seed in me, and then shared that burden with my wife, and really resulted in returning there as missionaries in 2017. We weren't the first missionaries to go to Belize, and actually the gospel arrived in Belize in the form of missionaries from Jamaica. And about 1950, a couple of missionaries from Jamaica began some great gospel campaigns, and many people were saved and baptized, and fellowships were formed. And there was a Canadian connection too, with a missionary from Winnipeg who went to help. And in 1954, they began what would become Grace Primary School. Well, since we arrived in Belize, I'd say that the first couple of years we're heavily invested in a small church plant just outside of Belize City. And we're thinking about the process during a couple of our teams years before that. One of the little guys came to one of the soccer camps we've been working with over the last couple of years, and he's just become a deacon in that little work. So it's encouraging to see God working in that way. Well, a number of things that we have been involved with trying to work in Belize is we've continued the E-teams, and these are short-term missions, usually 2 weeks at a time. The E stands for encouraging, equipping, and evangelizing in English. And so these teams is just a tremendous opportunity for believers in the North to be able to visit and have a cross-cultural experience of sharing the gospel and what that involves. It's like a crash course in evangelism. It's just tremendous, and it helps us with our challenge of trying to engage the next generation, because Belize is a very young country. And so we have been so encouraged as the teams have been able to go into schools throughout the country, and youth detention centers, and even the local prison. And so the teams is a tremendous boost, both locally and also for the short-termers that take their experience home. Our mission in Belize really is focusing on equipping the saints. And we see our role as coming alongside the assemblies, the churches, and learning and growing with them, and just fostering leadership through mentoring and Bible teaching. And it's so important, going forward, that the next generation is encouraged and equipped to carry out the great work that God has for them. If any of you are wondering how you can be praying for Belize, first of all, we need to pray for Belize because of the pandemic. And Belize is a developing nation, and tourism is their main industry. And so the pandemic has been devastating, and they will feel the effects for years to come. So pray about the country in that regards. Also, let's pray for the leaders of the churches in Belize and the assemblies. And also let's pray for the youth and the young people of Belize, that they would take up the challenge and be the next generation for this part of the world. So thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to share this report with you on Belize. And if you would like to contact us about anything, you can find us on Instagram, Christian Missions Belize, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.